Hey dumplings, it's Dave Desai. Welcome back to my channel. Today I definitely have an interesting topic that I wanted to dive into and then a lighter one following it. We are going to be talking about Jungkook and BTS and the possibility of them not doing K-pop anymore, ? We have some people talking about this online and I definitely wanted to open up the debate a little bit. Really have a conversation here about that. We also have Suga a little flustered backstage. I love seeing my baby flustered. We will talk about that and get into that as well. So let's jump into the tea. If you're new here and you're interested in this type of stuff, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and that notification bell to be notified anytime a new video drops. And if you're a hater, I'd like to be the first to leave your hate comment, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and that notification bell also so you can be the first to do so. Now let's jump into it. Let's talk about the rumors of Jungkook not doing K-pop anymore. Now I personally saw this kind of debacle, debate, whatever you want to call it, kind of unravel after Jungkook did his Savage Love remix on TikTok. There was a little post of 15 seconds or whatever it was where he was singing Savage Love. I started seeing people asking Jungkook or BTS if they're even doing K-pop anymore. And if this is still considered K-pop since the songs that they have been doing lately have been in English. I don't know if the debate has been sparked already before this. I just know that this is when I saw it. But either way, we're going to talk about it here. I'm not exactly sure how you would define K-pop, to be honest. And before we get into the debate, I have to go back just a little bit and we have to talk about something called BTS pop. Did you guys know this was a thing? So a lot of armies get mad when BTS is described as K-pop because they believe BTS is an entirely different genre. So armies gave BTS the genre BTS pop and said this was obviously very different from the standard K-pop. One person on the tweetster elegantly said, BTS is the genre, the BTS pop. Now while I believe BTS's music doesn't sound very similar to any other song in K-pop or what we identify as K-pop, K-pop doesn't even sound like K-pop from 5 years ago. So is the genre we're even listening to now considered K-pop? I don't know. However, BTS does define themselves as K-pop. I do believe Big Hit says that they are a K-pop entertainment label. So for that reason, I would call it K-pop. The debate kind of went further and talked about the release of Dynamite, and it became a little bit more about where the song was topping in charts and where it was being performed that made it into K-pop or not K-pop, which I think is very weird, since people did see it perform less on Korean talk shows and less on Korean award shows, but then saw it perform more on American shows and American award shows, and even places like the VMAs and stuff like that. It also started to win American awards, and then it started to top in American charts like Billboard. So does that make it less K-pop, the rollout or the promotion of the song? By this logic that we are going with, I feel like Latin songs can't be considered Latin pop once it hits the American market. For example, Despacito, Justin Bieber sang in it. Is it still considered Latin music? Circling back, people seem really confused with the idea of how to label a song or the artist, specifically when they are doing songs in English. But this doesn't necessarily make any sense to me, because BTS also has Japanese albums. Did you know this? I'm sure you knew this. And they perform those Japanese songs in Japan, and they sing in Japanese. However, we don't call BTS's Japanese album to be J-pop. So why do we all of a sudden call the English songs that they do American pop? It's funny to me because no matter what an Asian person does in American culture, they're going to be rejected from it, also from their own culture, if they assimilate to American culture and do English songs. Korean or K-pop fans are going to be upset. Hence this debate. They're going to say BTS is no longer K-pop. While if they do Korean songs and they're still promoting it here in America, they're not American enough to be doing those songs. The industry is going to discriminate against them anyway, speak English is what they're going to say. BTS themselves still very much considers what they do to be K-pop. And I think they believe they're not doing anything different. BTS did an interview a little while ago with Time magazine and talked about how they wouldn't do English songs and change everything else about them just to kind of fit in with American culture. I'm assuming this is because they still want to be considered K-pop and they still want to do K-pop. They don't want to do a song that wouldn't feel genuine to them. I imagine they did feel like Dynamite was genuine to them, which is why they put it out. And I also imagine that they felt like Dynamite was also the correct vibe for them. They really vibed with it. They were vibey. And that it represented them well regardless of the language change. So basically, I have a lot of questions. I want to talk about this open-endedly. Basically, what makes a song K-pop? Because do you consider Dynamite to be K-pop? Or was it just a one-time song that BTS created and that was that? We shouldn't put a label on it. Because if it's just a language change from K-pop to American pop, then all of K-pop would be considered American as well, because there is English in there. And many K-pop stars have been doing English songs, full English songs, for years. Many, many moons ago. But it's definitely interesting that we're having this debate right now. I do think Jungkook and BTS, regardless of the English covers or possible future songs in English, they are still going to be considered K-pop. I think what makes K-pop K-pop is the trainee experience. It's the culture you grow up in while making the music. And it definitely has something to do with the label you're a part of as well. K-pop is about music for Korean fans. It's about music with Korean people in mind. Making music that wouldn't be offensive to them. Making music that is marketed and appeals towards Korean people and K-pop fans. You get what I'm saying? I think as BTS and many other K-pop artists start making their way in America, this debate will definitely come back. It'll definitely spark back again. And it'll be another point of conversation. So I definitely wanted to give my 2 cents on this. And this is just how I feel about it. I definitely wanted to go on the Tweetster, see what people's thoughts were. One person wrote this. Okay, so BTS didn't pave the way for other K-pop groups because they're not K-pop. Case solved. Now this was taken out of a thread. Now this is where someone had a debate as to whether BTS was considered K-pop or not. A lot of people either happily agree that BTS is K-pop, or they don't want BTS to be identified with K-pop and with the other groups in Korean music. So then other people continued by saying this. K-pop is an industry. BTS are not part of that industry, therefore they are not K-pop. Simple. I do find this very interesting, kind of the general opinion on this. Whatever the case, I hope BTS still makes music. And I don't think there needs to be too much of a debate. I don't think there needs to be too much labeling. If it's something you like, it is something you like. You can sit there and enjoy it yourself or share with other people. Don't rub it in people's faces because that is rude. But also, if you do not enjoy a BTS, then there is more for me at fan meets. I would personally prefer if I went to a fan meet and no one else was there. I have 7 boys to myself. It is my dream. I dreamed about it yesterday. I would love to meet them backstage at a concert. It would be the best thing ever to see them. Suga actually met Taylor Swift backstage. This was either backstage at a concert venue or maybe it was at kind of an award show type thing. And I think my boy Suga had an itty bitty crush on the Tay Swift. Just a little hunch on that allegedly, I don't know. I don't know what this award show was for or what the award show was, but it definitely looked like it was something where BTS had to perform. And Taylor Swift was nice enough to kind of go backstage and greet them. She was kind to all of them, obviously. She's not a rude person. And then obviously she was only able to speak to RM. At the time, I would assume most of them probably didn't know English. Suga had no idea what was going on, but still gave her this like devilish smile and nodded his head. Oof, we love a good head nod. He's like, I may not know the language, but I can still flirt with you with my eyes. If I was Taylor Swift, I would have flopped around like a fish. Magikarp. Because that's what you do when Suga looks at you with his eyes and his smile. But it looks like Taylor wanted a photo and actually stood right next to our sweet boy Suga. And Suga looked super nervous. Taylor is obviously very tall, so there was a small chance that Suga felt intimidated. I would too. Taylor likes to wear heels and she's already super tall. I mean, she was taller than RM. I definitely wanted to see what people were saying about Suga and Taylor's interaction. If anyone saw this spark between them, one person on the Tweetster actually wrote this. Suga has a crush on Taylor Swift. Just that blanket statement. I totally agree. It is fact now. I'm kidding. But this was actually a reply to a picture here. So apparently if you YouTube search Suga, this is kind of what comes up. You'll have to go and check out yourself and see what it says, as this is always changing. You'll actually see Suga hit Jisoo, which happened a long time ago. It was on stage. Maybe I'll get into that in another video if you want. But then if you go near the bottom, you will see Suga crush on Taylor Swift. Wow. So basically, if you don't know how this works, the search recommendation comes up based on what a lot of people are searching up at the time. And then they assume that you're probably searching this up too, since everyone else is. So apparently a lot of people think this too, which is super cute and fun. I think it's the most adorable thing ever. I hope Taylor Swift sees this and realizes that his husband and takes. She'll have to take me too because I am attached to hubby. So we'll be a nice big family of me, Taylor, and Suga, and the other 6 boys who want to join. It's the dysfunctional family for me. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your thoughts are. Leave it down in the comment section down below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'm featuring this comment right here. Thank you so much for your comments. And as always, I do have a Patreon. If you want to go over there and check out my Patreon, I upload a lot of exclusive content over there that I can't upload on here due to copyright. Sometimes it'll get blocked and things like that. So if you do want to check out some more reaction videos and things like that, like music video reactions, performance reactions, shift reactions. Also, I make like reality TV show reactions, all that stuff. So go over there and check it out if you'd like. Link in the top of the description down below. Also, anything you contribute over there gives back to this channel, helps make better videos and all that stuff. I do explain it in the video over on the Patreon, so take a look. With that said, there are 2 videos that will appear on the screen at the end of this video, so click on those and I will see you over there. Bye.